Am I the a-hole for cutting off my ex-wife's kids I raised for 9 years when I found out they had been lying to me? I, 41 male, was married to my ex-wife, 38 female, for 2 years before we split up. She has 5 kids that I had been helping her raise for almost 9 years, as we had an on and off relationship before we got married. The kids are 22 female, 19 male, 17 male, 11 male, and 9 female. I have always had a great relationship with all the kids and treated them like my own. Their dads weren't really in the picture, and I was the man that stepped up to be there for them all. My ex and I would still spend time together and see each other after our initial split, as we were trying to work things out. During this time, she would date other men and have them in the home with the kids. I worked out of state and would talk to her and the kids regularly like a husband and father would, and would spend my days off with them all. Well, the line came into play when I found out on accident that the dad of 3 of the kids had gotten out of jail and was spending time with my wife and kids behind my back because no one wanted me to find out because he told them not to tell me. I was then informed that they had been covering for their mom's indiscretions the whole time I've known them. Full specifics, as I would come down from my work on my time off, the kids would all hide whatever man their mom was seeing at a time and tell the little ones to not say anything to me. That if I had found out what they were doing, I would have stopped paying all the bills and taking care of all of them. When I was told all of these things, I realized that I was just an ADM, and them and their mom never really cared about me. So I cut all contact with the entire family. I decided my feelings and my mental health was more important than constantly caring for people that don't care about me or how I felt about what was being done to me. So am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole at all. You were a stand-up guy to them, and they treated you poorly. End of story. Good luck to you. Not the a-hole or the ATM. Let's give them props for the teamwork though. Awful, but impressive they made it that long without spilling the beans. Even the kids betrayed you. Damn, son, that's rough. I'm sorry you went through that. Not the a-hole. A grifter raising little grifters. Glad you're out, Opie. Unfortunately, the only not the a-hole ones here are the 2 youngest, who have only known Opie as a father. You cannot blame young kids for doing what their mother tells them. The mom is horrible in so many levels. According to Opie, it has been going for 9 years, meaning even the oldest were young kids when dealing with us. None of the kids, from the youngest to the oldest, should be looked at fault here. The mother should. Those kids knew exactly what would happen and tried their best to keep the family together the best way they know how. And this isn't even getting into what the mom may have told them to do. Add now confusing emotions of a deadbeat dad now popping up in the picture. They're just as much victims. Not the a-hole. Dating a single mom is fine. Dating a single mom with 5 kids from different fathers, at least one of which is in jail, might not be the best idea. Mom seemingly has a lifelong history of poor choices, it sounds like, having a kid at 16. I'd assume the 3 oldest are with a man in jail, and the 2 youngest are with a different man? Manipulating her kids into lying for her to cover for her affairs? They were together 9 years, but she has a 9-year-old with someone else? The whole situation is one messy red flag. The only sane decision in this whole crap show was him leaving this chaotic mess. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling people why my girlfriend and I broke up? My ex and I had been dating for over 2 years when she cheated on me at a Halloween party. She called me a few days afterwards to tell me she cheated. She claimed she felt bad about it as to why she was telling me, and claimed she felt like our relationship was over as to why she let it happen. I was super busy with work trying to make enough to get a place for both of us. I broke up with her and hung up. Then I updated my Facebook to say I was single again, and a couple of my friends asked me why on the update. I responded with, she cheated on me at a party. Well, roughly 7 hours later, my ex's friends and sister are blowing up my Facebook and phone, threatening me and calling me an a-hole for bringing strangers into our business. To which I feel that if she didn't want other people knowing she cheated on me, maybe she shouldn't have freaking cheated on me. So I guess am I the a-hole for being honest to people about why I broke up with that girl, or should I have just acted like it was mutual? Not the a-hole. This has the vibe of, if you don't want people to know you are an a-hole, then don't be an a-hole. She made her bed. Let her lay in it. I know you are probably hurt right now, Opie. Know that with time it will heal the wounds she has caused you. I wish you positive vibes. Thank you. This happened a couple years ago, but it took me a long while to get my head right again over it and start dating again. I am curious, what was the aftermath and the reason the friends inserted themselves when it wasn't their business either? The aftermath I gather from snooping a bit shortly after the split and what a mutual friend of ours told me, that guy thought she was single, that her deadbeat neglectful boyfriend who didn't even want her had dumped her the week of Halloween, because that's what she told him. He apparently stalked my profile about a week after the party and saw my post and ghosted my ex after that for lying to him. This is of course third-hand info. The guy never contacted me himself, so who knows how true it all is. But I trust the base info. She wanted to date the guy. The guy found out she was a cheater and ghosted her. She complained to friends and friends blew my phone up. Not the a-hole. Your ex-girlfriend cheated, and then she called you to tell you. I honestly feel it's because she wanted you to break up with her. Well, she got what she wanted, as well as everyone finding out about her actions. It's none of the friends' business, because I doubt if their significant other cheated on them, they would hold back. 100% this. Her friend/sibling don't like that the truth drags her name through the mud. Too bad. As a person who was cheated on and dumped when I was starting to catch on, then had that person defended to me when I brought up what happened? Screw him. Don't want to have your reputation tarnished by having your cheating be made public by people asking? Don't cheat. Not the a-hole. I am always 100% in favor of social consequences for unfaithful partners. Should I have just acted like it was mutual? Heck no, because it wasn't. She cheated. Feel free to fly one of those airplane banners over the city if you so wish. My girlfriend cheated! Lots of exclamation points just for fun. My ex-wife told me she needed a break. I was distraught. I was apologizing for 2 weeks saying how I wanted to work it out. She stayed at her parents', and we talked a lot that week. Come to find out, she was telling her parents she was staying with me to talk while going to this guy's house and then agreeing to go to couples therapy with me. This came out, and I flipped. Told everyone. She was only ever mad I didn't keep our relationship between us. Screw that. You mean between me, you, and the guy you were banging while I was a mess for 2 weeks trying to salvage it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for disowning my eldest daughter for going after my youngest daughter's boyfriend? I'm at a loss here. I have 2 daughters, 28-year-old Madison and 23-year-old Naomi. Madison has always been a problematic child for things outside of her control. As a young girl, she's always been what people call a pick-me girl, needing to be the center of attention constantly and trying to one-up people in any way she possibly can. This started happening around age 8. She was in extensive therapy for years, and ultimately it was chalked up to abandonment issues and seeking male validation due to her father essentially wanting nothing to do with her after years of being a daddy's girl. She did come down in her teen years though, and we thought maybe therapy, both personal and family, was finally helping. She started dating a real nice guy, Tommy, around 5 years ago, but they split up back in December because he wasn't ready for marriage and she was. It destroyed her mentally though, and she started to spiral back into her old ways. Now, Naomi started dating Heath a bit over a year ago, and they started talking about marriage and babies around the same time Madison and Tommy split up. I didn't notice the signs originally, but back a month and a half ago, it became really obvious that Madison had her eyes on Naomi's boyfriend. Like whenever we would invite her for family dinners, she would ask if he was going to be there, and come dressed to the max in flashy revealing clothes and flirt excessively. At this point, I told her she needed to tone it down and suggested she gets back into therapy. She informed me that she didn't mean it and that she was just finding herself again after a bad breakup, and insisted that she had no interest in Heath. We just all took her for her word. But Naomi called me in hysterics 3 nights ago and asking to come back home. We open our doors, obviously. That's when she tells us that Madison and Heath started an affair, and that Madison had been messaging Heath constantly for 2 months or so, and that she saw all the messages. I calm Naomi down, and when she gets to bed, finally, I call Madison and ask her about it. She confirms and says, "It's not like I meant for this to happen. We just clicked, and I'm so happy with him. It sucks because I did hurt people in the process, but I feel I deserve some empathy here too." I was shocked. I told her she was no longer a part of this family, and that she made her bed and now she will have to lay in it. Other family members are telling me I'm a bit too harsh, knowing Madison's history with mental issues, but I can't even look at her the same. I'm disgusted by her. Not the a-hole. She clearly did mean it and wanted it to happen based on her activities up to that point. I am sorry this happened to you and your younger daughter, but you made a tough choice to stand up for her. Yep. How do you accidentally have an affair? Are you saying you never tripped down a flight of stairs, and also someone else also tripped down those same stairs, and as you're rolling down said stairs, you end up in an accident sex? It's not like I meant for this to happen. Yeah, it was. She deliberately went after him because her relationship failed and her sister's was blooming. And so she got angry and went to steal her happiness. She doesn't care about you or her sister. She's the only thing that matters in her life. Honestly, she's probably not upset you disowned her, but likes the attention of playing victim. Tell other family members that they can believe what they want, but how would they feel if she had decided to target their partner just because she couldn't stand to see someone else happy while she wasn't? This, plus at 28 she's plenty old enough to know better. If she was 15, I'd sit her down to explain things. But she's 28, old enough to know you don't sabotage her sister's relationship or sleep with her boyfriend because her own boyfriend dumped you. This is an important lesson she needs to learn, and if you let it slip, she will remain an a-hole. And Heath will learn his own lesson over the next 2 to 6 months when he realizes what is given up in order to fool around with a mentally unstable narcissist. Like, there's a very short list of the worst people to have your affair with. Your partner's parents, your partner's kids, your partner's siblings, your partner's exes, anyone in a relationship with any of those people. That's it. Roughly 10 to 50 people out of your entire town, /cities, /states, /whatever. Do not touch them. Because not only are you far more likely to get found out, but even if your partner might forgive you for cheating with a stranger, they will never forgive you for cheating with those people. Not the a-hole. That applies to you for taking a stand and supporting the daughter who did nothing wrong. Too many parents say, well, I don't want to pick sides. I love you equally, which only punishes the victim and enables the wrongdoer. I know your youngest really appreciates you having her back. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she should learn how to keep her legs closed? So I, 15 female, and my mom, 37 female, have never really had a great relationship. We have the same attitude, so us together doesn't really work out. Also, she's always getting herself into toxic relationships, which ends up affecting me and my sisters, 19 female and 9 female. A few months ago, my mom started seeing this guy Fred, 45 male. At first, he seemed like a great guy, taking my mom out, buying her flowers, chocolates, etc. I liked him. He was nice. Then 2 months ago, I found a paper in our kitchen counter. I'm not really sure what they're called, but it was basically stating that my mom was putting in her 30-day notice to leave our apartment. I asked my mom about it, and she said that Fred wants us to move in with him and his 2 kids. However, she was asking me and my younger sister if we were okay with it. I said I didn't care, and my little sister said she didn't want to. My mom didn't listen to my sister, so we ended up moving in with Fred. In the first week we moved in, Fred started to show his true colors, telling my mom what she was allowed and not allowed to do in his house. For example, no drinking in the house as he used to be an alcoholic. He didn't want my older sister visiting every day, etc., which caused a lot of arguments between them. Fast forward to today, Fred went out to run some errands and called my mom. He told her he was buying her a Princess Peach's costume for his friend's son's birthday party, which is Mario Brothers theme. My mom said there was no way she was gonna wear that, so to not even bother to buy it. He kept insisting and my mom kept saying no and hung up. He kept calling her, and my mom kept ignoring it. He kept calling and my mom picked it up and he was furious. He told her how dare she hung up on him. My mom said it's my phone and I can do what I want, and he told her, well, I bought it, which caused a huge argument. My sister's partner and sister were there at the same time. My mom told them that she has had enough of his BS and she wanted to leave. So she went to Walmart, bought boxes to put out the clothes and belongings in, called my aunt, and we packed everything and left. We moved in with my sister to their 1-bedroom apartment. I was so mad at my mom for putting us in this situation. I was already tired of my sister's partner telling me that it's their house, so I had to follow their rules for the millionth time. So I told my mom she better find us a place to live ASAP. She told me I should be grateful we had a roof over our heads, and we wouldn't be in this situation if we had told her we didn't want to move in with Fred. I was furious at that point and corrected her by saying if only she knew how to keep her legs closed and thought with reason and not lust, we wouldn't be in this situation. So stop blaming me and my sister for it. She slapped me and called me an ungrateful witch. My sister and cousins keep telling me that I crossed the line for basically calling my mom a whore. But I was tired of her blaming me and my sister for her bad decisions. So am I the a-hole for telling my mom she should learn how to keep her legs closed? So I have relatives like this, always need to be with a man/woman. They can't handle being on their own, and their children suffer. Could you have said something different? Of course. Were you wrong? No, you were not. Your mom has some self-reflecting to do, and just because someone is in their 30s doesn't mean they are a responsible adult. Best of luck to you, young lady. I too had a former friend who always had to have a man. Only difference is luckily there were no kids involved. I don't get it, because she has a college education. When she worked in insurance, she got numerous awards for the amount of insurance she sold. I used to go to her family's for Christmas, and she made a snide remark one time, referring to how long it had been since she thought I had been with someone. I let pass because I didn't want to ruin the holiday, but I was so close to saying, at least I don't settle for any Tom's hairy prick. Funny, my wife and I were talking about this recently and we're like, if we were to end our relationship after 32 years of us being together, we would be single for a long time. Not the a-hole. Facts are facts. That is why she lashed out at you. Start thinking now about building assets and money, so it'll be easier. Not easy, just easier when you become an adult and want to distance yourself. Yes, save every penny from birthday and holiday money and from when you get a job. You won't be able to move out when you feel that you need to. And if you don't move out, use the money for college or trade school. Give your youngest sister a good role model.